What if I told you the U.S. Department of Transportation just issued the largest disability-related fine in aviation history? What if this landmark case reveals important changes coming to how airlines handle disability services? Today, we're examining the DOT's recent $50 million penalty against American Airlines for disability service violations between 2019 and 2023. From new training requirements to enhanced equipment handling procedures, we're breaking down what federal investigators found and how it impacts every traveler. According to the DOT's official report, this investigation uncovered significant gaps in disability assistance protocols that led to passenger injuries and equipment damage. The government's findings reveal important lessons about passenger rights and airline responsibilities that every traveler should understand. Hit subscribe because this analysis covers the federal investigation that's changing disability services across the aviation industry. We'll explore what the DOT discovered, what American Airlines must now implement, and most importantly, what this means for your future flights. Let's dive into the official findings from this landmark case and discover what travelers need to know about disability services and passenger rights in 2024. Section 1, the DOT investigation, record-breaking, $50 million penalty. On December 19, 2024, the U.S. Department of Transportation announced a historic $50 million civil penalty against American Airlines following an extensive investigation into disability service violations between 2019 and 2023. According to the DOT's official findings, federal investigators documented numerous serious violations of the laws protecting airline passengers with disabilities. The investigation, which lasted several months, examined thousands of passenger complaints and internal airline procedures. The DOT report specifically cited issues with physical assistance procedures that at times resulted in injuries and undignified treatment of wheelchair users. Federal investigators found that existing protocols were insufficient to ensure passenger safety during transfers and mobility assistance. This penalty represents the largest disability-related fine in aviation, signaling the DOT's commitment to enforcing the Air Carrier Access Act more strictly. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg stated that the fine reflects the seriousness of the violations and the need for immediate improvements. The investigation began after the DOT received an unusual number of disability-related complaints regarding American Airlines between 2019 and 2023. Federal investigators noted patterns in these complaints that suggested systemic issues rather than isolated incidents. According to the DOT's press release, the violations included inadequate assistance procedures, insufficient staff training on disability services, and equipment handling practices that didn't meet federal standards. The investigation also found gaps in American Airlines compliance reporting to federal authorities. American Airlines has accepted the penalty and agreed to implement comprehensive improvements to their disability services program. The airline issued a statement acknowledging the issues and committing to enhanced training and procedures. Smart travelers should understand that this case represents a significant shift in how federal authorities monitor and enforce disability service requirements across the aviation industry. Section 2, Wheelchair Transfer Safety, New Federal Standards. The DOT investigation revealed significant concerns about wheelchair transfer procedures, leading to new federal requirements for enhanced safety protocols across the aviation industry. According to federal investigators, existing transfer procedures at American Airlines were insufficient to prevent passenger injuries during the boarding and deplaning process. The DOT report documented cases where passengers experienced injuries during transfers, highlighting the need for improved training and standardized procedures. Federal authorities found that staff conducting wheelchair transfers often lack adequate training in proper body mechanics and safety protocols. The investigation revealed that American Airlines' existing training programs didn't meet the comprehensive standards needed to ensure passenger safety during these critical interactions. The DOT's findings indicate that proper wheelchair transfer procedures require specialized training that goes beyond basic customer service. Federal investigators noted that other airlines have implemented more comprehensive training programs that significantly reduce injury rates during passenger transfers. As part of the settlement, American Airlines must now implement enhanced transfer protocols that include mandatory safety training for all staff involved in disability assistance. These new procedures will be monitored by federal authorities to ensure compliance with updated standards. The investigation also revealed that proper documentation of transfer incidents was inconsistent, making it difficult to track and address safety issues. New federal requirements now mandate detailed reporting of all transfer-related incidents to help identify and prevent future problems. Aviation experts note that these new standards will likely become industry-wide requirements, as federal authorities use this case to establish clearer guidelines for all airlines. The DOT has indicated that similar investigations may be conducted at other carriers to ensure consistent compliance across the industry. For travelers using wheelchairs, these changes mean enhanced safety protocols and better trained staff when flying with any major airline. The new standards represent a significant improvement in federal oversight of disability services in aviation. Section 3. Equipment, handling improvements, and new procedures. The DOT investigation identified significant issues with how mobility equipment was being handled during flights, leading to new federal requirements for specialized equipment care procedures. According to the federal report, American Airlines' existing baggage handling procedures were insufficient for the specialized needs of mobility equipment. The investigation found that wheelchairs and other mobility devices were often damaged during transport due to inadequate handling protocols. Federal investigators documented cases where expensive mobility equipment was damaged or destroyed during flights, leaving passengers stranded without essential devices. The DOT noted that proper equipment handling requires specialized knowledge and procedures that differ significantly from standard baggage handling. The investigation revealed that American Airlines lacked comprehensive training programs for staff handling mobility equipment. Federal authorities found that many employees were unaware of proper procedures for loading, securing, and unloading wheelchairs and other specialized devices. As part of the settlement agreement, American Airlines must implement new equipment handling procedures that include specialized training for baggage handlers, dedicated storage protocols for mobility devices, and enhanced tracking systems to monitor equipment throughout the journey. DOT's requirements also include new documentation procedures that will help passengers track their equipment and receive prompt notification if any issues occur during transport. Section 4. Staff training requirements and federal oversight. The DOT investigation found that American Airlines disability assistance training programs were insufficient to meet federal requirements, leading to comprehensive new training mandates. According to federal investigators, existing training programs didn't provide staff with adequate knowledge of disability rights, proper assistance techniques, or federal compliance requirements. The DOT report indicated that many employees lacked basic understanding of the Air Carrier Access Act and their responsibilities under federal law. The investigation revealed that American Airlines training materials were outdated and didn't reflect current federal standards for disability assistance. Federal authorities found that staff often made decisions based on company policies rather than federal requirements, leading to violations of passenger rights. Federal investigators noted that comprehensive disability training requires ongoing education, not just initial orientation programs. The DOT found that American Airlines lacked regular refresher training and updates on evolving federal requirements. Under the settlement agreement, American Airlines must implement comprehensive training programs that cover federal disability, law, proper assistance techniques, equipment handling procedures, and customer service standards. These programs will be subject to federal monitoring and regular audits. The new training requirements include mandatory certification programs for staff involved in disability assistance, regular testing to ensure knowledge retention, and updated materials that reflect current federal standards. Federal authorities will monitor compliance through regular inspections and passenger feedback analysis. Industry experts note that these training requirements will likely influence standards across the aviation industry. The DOT has indicated that comprehensive disability training will become a focus area for future airline inspections and compliance reviews. The enhanced training standards represent a significant investment in staff education and federal compliance. For travelers, these changes mean better informed staff and more consistent service when requesting disability assistance. Section 5. Federal monitoring and industry changes. Following this landmark penalty, the DOT has implemented enhanced monitoring procedures that will reshape how airlines handle disability services across the industry. According to federal authorities, American Airlines will be subject to increased oversight for the next several years, including regular compliance audits and passenger satisfaction monitoring. The DOT has established new reporting requirements that will provide better visibility into disability service performance. The investigation process revealed gaps in how airlines report disability-related incidents to federal authorities. As part of the settlement, American Airlines must implement enhanced reporting systems that provide real-time data on passenger complaints and service issues. Federal authorities have indicated that this case will serve as a template for evaluating disability services at other airlines. The DOT is currently reviewing industry-wide practices to determine if additional enforcement actions are necessary to ensure consistent compliance. The penalty also includes requirements for American Airlines to work with disability advocacy groups to improve their services and gather ongoing feedback from the disability community. This collaboration approach represents a new model for federal oversight in the aviation industry. Industry analysts note that other airlines are proactively reviewing their own disability service procedures to avoid similar federal scrutiny. The $50 million penalty has created significant incentive for voluntary compliance improvements across the industry. The DOT has also announced plans to publish updated guidance for all airlines regarding disability service requirements. These new guidelines will help ensure consistent understanding and implementation of federal standards across the aviation industry. For travelers, these monitoring changes mean better federal oversight of disability services and more consistent enforcement of passenger rights across all airlines. Section 6. What this means for your future travel experience. This landmark DOT enforcement action represents significant improvements coming to disability services across the aviation industry, with benefits extending to all travelers. According to federal authorities, the enhanced standards established through this case will likely become industry benchmarks. Other airlines are already implementing similar improvements to avoid potential federal scrutiny and ensure compliance with evolving standards. For travelers with disabilities, these changes mean enhanced safety protocols, better trained staff, improved equipment handling, and more consistent service quality. The new federal oversight procedures will also provide better channels for reporting concerns and seeking resolution when problems occur. The settlement requires American Airlines to establish improved customer service procedures for disability-related issues, including faster response times and better communication throughout the resolution process. These improvements will benefit all passengers requiring special assistance. Federal authorities have indicated that this case demonstrates their commitment to enforcing disability rights in aviation. The record penalty sends a clear message that airlines must prioritize compliance with federal accessibility requirements. Industry experts note that the comprehensive nature of the required improvements will likely influence accessibility standards beyond just American Airlines. The DOT's detailed requirements provide a roadmap for industry-wide improvements in disability services. The enhanced federal oversight established through this case will continue for several years, ensuring that improvements are sustained and effective. Regular monitoring will help identify emerging issues before they become systematic problems. This case demonstrates the importance of federal oversight in ensuring consistent service standards across the aviation. The DOT's enforcement action shows that passenger rights are being taken seriously at the highest levels of government. There you have it. the comprehensive analysis of the DOT's record $50 million penalty against American Airlines and what it means for travelers. From enhanced wheelchair transfer safety to improved equipment handling and comprehensive staff training, these federal requirements represent significant improvements in disability services across aviation. The Department of Transportation has demonstrated its commitment to enforcing passenger rights with this landmark case. The comprehensive monitoring and improvement requirements will benefit not just American Airlines passengers, but likely influence standards industry-wide. Have you experienced disability service issues while flying? Share your experiences in the comments below and let us know what improvements you'd like to see in airline accessibility services.